Alright guys, so I think it's been just over a month now since Eric July, aka Young Rippa, launched the Rippaverse with Isom #1, and as of right now, I believe it's sitting at around $3.5 million he's accumulated, which is nuts. Alright, as an independent creator, that's awesome. So shout out to Rippa. But some people are not as happy about this success of the Rippaverse and have some issues with it. So let's find out why. Multiple CBR writers attack Eric July's Isom #1 campaign. One calls customers brainwashed. Two writers from the alleged comics news website CBR attacked Eric July's Isom #1 campaign this weekend. Both writers from the CBR site took exception to the pricing of July's graphic novel at $35, making statements that allude to him ripping off his customers. CBR's David Harth tweeted to one of July's fans, "You can go get Saga Volume 1, over 100 pages of excellent comic for $9.99, The Merry Deaths of Layla Starr for $13, Watchmen for $25. This isn't a good value, you're just brainwashed." Or maybe he has fans and people that want to support him. As an independent creator, they want to support him, they like his content. It's a competition with Marvel and DC with all the shit they've been putting out. So no, I don't think this is a brainwashing. Harth compares the value of reprints of corporate properties to his self-made pre-order campaign, when it would be more apt to compare what Eric July is doing to Kickstarter or Indiegogo projects of the same length of 96 pages. One recent popular crowdfund, Skies of Fire on Kickstarter, offered their basic books of similar length for $30, a similar price point to the Isom #1 book. Mark Waid's Irredeemable campaign had a reprint campaign with its first issue, a standard 24-page comic at $20. In comparison to those, July's Isom seems to be on par with what independent comics charge. Another CBR writer, Anthony Gramuglia, joined in on the attack of July, tweeting, "Just because I deliberately made it unaffordable to purchase doesn't mean that it's too expensive. One of the best superhero comics ever written, All-Star Superman, costs roughly $30 on Amazon when not on sale. It's 300 pages. Okay, well, that's DC, right? Don't care." David Harth continued an argument with Eric July once the Isom creator saw the tweets attacking his book. Harth accused July of picking on a nobody for replying to the attacks on his unreleased comic book. So you picked a fight with him, and he responds, and now you're like, whoa, 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 hey, I'm just a nobody, man. Calm down. He also illuminated that there appears to be a policy at CBR not to cover right-leaning books. "We don't cover Comicsgate either, mostly because both you and them are anti all the things we write about," he tweets. The site used to be called Comic Book Resources before it rebranded to CBR, and one might expect that they would be writing about comic books and comic news, of which Isom #1 should qualify, as the book has sold more than 50,000 copies from 40,000 customers as of this writing. That's nuts. Congratulations, Rippa. Very few comics from Marvel and DC reach such a threshold in sales, which makes this one of the top-selling books of the year. On a live stream addressing the topic, July posits that CBR is admitting that they're a political operation and not there to cover comics. His hypothesis is based on one of Hart's tweets, which states, "That would be like asking why Bernie Sanders doesn't have a column in a right-wing publication." Here's the tweets right here, from one from Brad, support the Rippaverse. "Also, I just realized you have pronouns in your bio, and you write for CBR. No wonder why you're against Rippaverse. How come you guys don't have this story on your front page?" Which is a valid question. I mean, this is big comic book news. Why is that? "That decision is made way above my pay grade, but possibly because he's one of many who only exist to be against the things we write about." What, comic books? What? That would be like asking why Bernie Sanders doesn't have a column in a right-wing publication. The implication is that CBR is a left-wing political blog, not a comic book news website. If true, this marks a rare moment where the mainstream entertainment media admits its political biases. It appears as if there is a coordinated narrative being crafted by the mainstream media against Eric July's comics. July's theory, according to a recent live stream, is that companies for these alleged news platforms get access to Marvel and DC books and act as mouthpieces of those corporations in exchange. On his live stream on Sunday, August 21st, July said of the matter, "This is a top story in comic books because obviously of how many we've sold, but look at how it's happened. It's the most organic story that could possibly exist." He continues, "Not asking anyone to cover this shit, not paying anybody an advertisement. All I did was put the shit out there and I self promoted. That's it," which is incredible. With the success of Isom #1 sales exceeding all but the very top selling issues in comics, it is one of the biggest stories in all of comics news. It seems dishonest to try and suppress the story by not reporting on it, which would be a disservice to readers of comics news websites. Fortunately, readers have Bounding into Comics, which will cover all comic book news, regardless of the political persuasion of the character, which is how it should be. You know, if you're talking about comic book news, doesn't matter who the person is, doesn't matter what their political leanings might be or what you think they might be. If it's this big of news, why wouldn't you cover it? I think that shows you're definitely biased against someone like Eric July, who is a young, successful black man, which I believe if CBR is left leaning, then they should be fighting for stories like this, right? They should be promoting this everywhere, right? A young, successful black man's black voices, black businesses, and all that stuff. But no, they want to suppress it. They don't want to talk about it because he doesn't have the right political leanings, which is ridiculous. But yeah, shout out to Eric July. Keep doing what you're doing. I hope you see even more success than this. This is great news. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, I'm out.